All right, here's a quick video on ESLint. Um, if you never ever used it or don't know what it is, it just did they explain here about who is using about ESLint? Okay, this is a bunch of. Anyways, so at the end of the day, it just what linter does, it just formats your code. So, for example, if I do something like "Hello World," it might not like this, so it might want instead something like "Hello World," and then it might say we don't like the semicolon, and your code should look like this instead of this. Now, if everyone's running the same configuration, that means you have identical looking code. Identical looking code means um, easier to maintain because, well, let's not get into that. But and another example is like, let's say you have some kind of variable here, test hello, and then you do something like this. Um, if this variable is not used, so the linter will tell you that, hey, you have an unused variable, you should remove it. So stuff like that, it really helps out for maintenance. And there's ESLint, and then there's prettier. So this is similar to linting in a way, but this is more this is more of a formatting tool instead of a linter. All right, so let's install this. Getting started. You can install using okay. So I'll do npm init y, and then it's telling me to do npm install ESLint save dev. Hide this stop screen. Then set up a configuration file. Alright, so if I run that, how would you like to use to check syntax, find and enforce code style? There you go. What type of JavaScript? I mean, it's using both, but so yeah. So if you're using a framework, we should really use these options. But right now, none of these. How would you like to find a style for your project? Either inspect your JavaScript files. Answer questions about your style. Use a popular style guide to find a style. Inspect your JavaScript. Find a style guide. Let's use Airbnb. That's the most famous one. I want JavaScript. This style guide. Airbnb ESLint. We're currently using 6.1. Do you want to downgrade? No. Yes. Alright, so it kind of makes it easy. So yeah, we're gonna use the Airbnb rules just for this example here. And you can see this config file gets generated. So this config file actually gets generated when this is ran. And then now I can just go. Right. It says then you can run ESLint on any file or directly. So I can do like hello world, and then I can run it like this. Plus lint.js. It's gonna complain about unexpected console statement, so it doesn't like console log. So that's a bummer especially for development. That's fine. We should we can get rid of that. Strings must use single quote. There you go. So Now, so this one's an error actually. The first one was warning. So they actually let that one go through. Run it again. All right, so to get rid of this, I actually want a console log, in my development and stuff, development environments, and I don't want to. Maybe I don't want to see this warning anymore. So what we can do is we can add rules. We can do something like, I think this is the rule name. No console. Um, no console. Off. I think that should do it. And if I run it again, all right, we're good. We didn't get anything. So you can add exceptions, and you can we can modify the rules a little bit, but you can see that we're using Airbnb's base module here. I don't know. Anyways, so they have a rigid set of rules that they've been using, and at Countable, it doesn't matter what we use. To be honest, what's more important is that we use one and then we stick to one. Clark likes. I think Clark is okay with any as well, but he likes the default prettier settings, which is not ideal, to be honest. Um, Speaking of prettier, so prettier comes in, we're like, as in like, so this just passed, right? But what if I do that? Does that pass? There should be no spaces inside this parentheses. Okay. Well, I guess right. Well, anyways, yeah. So this is linting, and I think I can have this fixed by running fix. You see how that automatically fixes? So this is what we want in Countable. Clark and I discussed this, and instead of having your VS Code, format it on save, because VS Code has extensions like prettier, and then this will integrate with this set of rules, and then every time we save, we can instead of running this, every time we save, it will fix those rules by itself. It will fix what it can, and otherwise, because some are not fixable. For example, if you have this unused variable, so that's not fixable. I'm gonna run it. The command would fix. It fixed that, but this isn't fixable because it will not actually delete it for you, because this is not what do you call it? This is not like a syntax fix. This is like a, I don't know. But anyways, not all the rules can be fixed automatically. So anyways, but we should fix whatever we can through the command line. So, and what I mean by that is like this. Instead of fixing it on the editor, we should always have it go through this command on our build process, because a lot of us have different, we might have different prettier settings, and this thing's a pain in the ass to work with. And we end up having to have like sharing these workspace settings, user settings on VS Code. That just complicates things. So, so whatever we have, as long as we run this command at the end, it should, the code should look like it should go down to one style at the end of the day. So.